Hello there and welcome to the new video where I want to talk about what is the career path or progression for a data analyst. This is usually a question which I have received both from people who are already a data analyst, already in a company doing working, worried about or curious about what their career path will really look like or what should be their career path, which I will talk to you about two different career paths, as well as from the freshers about if I come into this field, then what will be my career path or what will be my progression within a company, like from data analyst, what will be my hierarchy will going to look like. So that's basically I will going to talk about in this video about the two different scenarios in which your career or your hierarchy may go, which will be beneficial. You have basically three different scenarios in that. Two are pretty straightforward and one is based on my own experience that I want to share with you. So that's what basically I will going to talk. So let's go ahead and see this piece. So mostly whenever somebody is in a company doing a data analyst job or planning to come in this data analyst, confused about whether they will going to have a successful career, because at the end of the day we always strive for the next level. Today we are a data analyst, what is our next level? After the next level, what is our next level? So all of these things keeps us obviously motivated but inquisitive about what will be our next level and whether it is a right choice or not. And that's the reason in the next slide I will show you the hierarchy. So the first thing is you start with the analyst level, right? After that, let's say you become senior analyst, and generally I have seen that from an analyst to senior analyst, anywhere between 1 to maximum 2.5 years is what you need based on your obviously performance and everything to become a senior analyst, right? And then what you have is from senior analyst to lead analyst, anywhere between 3 to 5 years is generally it's been observed over a period of time. The performance of the senior analyst to really give the title of the lead analyst. So lead analyst, generally the expectation also from the lead analyst is not only they understand the business really well, they understand the analysis, they understand the data, but also can mentor a team of around 2 to 3 people functionally. That means if they are stuck somewhere, let's say you have one senior analyst and 1 or 2 data analysts being given to you to basically run the business or run the day-to-day operations, mostly the operations piece, not their performance or anything. After that, what you have is the so this is the one hierarchy where from lead analyst you basically choose whether you want to go on a managerial path or you want to go on the individual contributor path. If you go on the managerial path, you become the assistant manager or the associate manager or the supervisor. There are different titles, or the team lead, sometimes what they see. Over here, lead analyst is what I am considering most like a team lead, and this is a proper managerial position where you are not just responsible for running the business or running the show, but also about the performance and pay of these analysts. That's why this role becomes really critical, because you have the capability or you have the responsibility to not just give them the feedback about the performance, but link the feedback with the pay. That's where people get happy or unhappy, right? So that's a power that is being given to you by the company based on this title. Now after that, what you have is basically the manager, right? Obviously from assistant manager to manager, that means more teams, more team members being given, more functions may be given, and then so on and so forth. Like from manager you become senior manager. From senior manager there are again different titles different company follow. Like for example, I have seen in banking you have from senior manager is generally considered as AVP or assistant vice president, and from AVP to basically you have the VP, from VP to senior VP, and so on and so forth. And then what you have is the individual contributor path. From here, the lead analyst, you basically become the consultant, right? So consultant is like one level above So this can be, again, different company has different designations. They have consultant, they have principal analyst or principal lead analyst, those type of designations as well. Again, the whole idea is that you gain more experience. Again, lead analyst is evaluated for another 3 to 5 years or even beyond that in certain scenario, when really becoming the consultant. Consultant is someone who is really consulting the business or consulting a part of the business as to how to run it. For example, in the finance, you have like the operations or the different stream. Then for one of the stream, you basically is a consultant and you know both from the business and data analysis perspective how to run it. You can give the instruction back to these people as to how to really run the process. And that's basically what you do as a consultant. After that, obviously from consultant to senior consultant, as you gain more and more experience, once you become senior consultant, not just one part of the business, but let's say 2 or 3 different part of the business is given to you based on your experience and expertise. And after senior consultant, like we have seen in case of a manager, you become senior manager, AVP, VP and things like those, or move into those designation. From senior consultant, generally it is architect or the business architect or senior business architect as you again move on into the career. So that's basically a lifespan of around 25 to 30 year is what we're really discussing in this slide, as to whether we go on the managerial path or we go on the individual contributor side. So again, the whole thing is that it's an individual choice whether they want to be on the managerial side or on the individual contributor side. Now, talking specifically about the very usual choice which people take in most of the scenario is the managerial position, because with the managerial position you not only just get the power of giving the feedback on normally day-to-day issues, but also can link your can basically link the performance bonuses and the increase in the compensation into it. Also, in many scenarios, these people really have to take a hit from these analysts as well. If let's say for certain reasons most of the time your hands are tight or the manager's hands are tight as to how much they can really allocate, and people really gets frustrated because they don't get, or as per their needs they are not getting how much they have contributed based on what is going or running in their mind. So there is always a conflict. However, in this scenario you do not have the conflict. Here you just focus on work and work, and you basically give the work to them and let them manage the all of these pieces. So it's a balance that one may need to have, or one may need to identify what the choice should be. I will give you my recommendation based on my experience, what I have seen. But at the end of the day, if you want to earn more social capital, is generally what I see or what I understand. If the idea is that we want to have more social capital, here we want to flash our title or something, we basically go on this path. But if again related to whether social capital or not, but still the titles are pretty good over here, consultant, senior consultant and things like those, but here your focus is more on the business, right? So if that's what it is, not much on the social capital or things like those, you basically go on the business path and really become the expert on the business side of the things. All right, now let's move on to what should I choose, right? At the end of the day, this is the question we have in the mind as to what do we really choose that is beneficial for us. Now, based on my 15 years of experience, I have been on both these sides. I have been the sides of the individual contributor, obviously before becoming a manager, and then I have seen the side of the manager as well. You have basically two choices, and then you can obviously mix and match or basically move your path. If you don't like one, you can move on to another. But sometimes it is little difficult. If you don't have people management experience, probably you will not get a job very easily to manage the people, because they want to get, or companies want to see if you have any background. So if you really like business and don't want to go into the hassle of managing the people, dealing with the emotions and all the drama, then for you, the best thing is move on to the individual contributor side. Again, the money is no problem over there. More recognition is there because it is completely at the end of the day, it is based on the work. However, you are completely busy, stuck, and most of the times going over the hours or over the normal course of working hours to basically provide solutions to the business. That's one side of the story. Next, if you want to earn more social capital, flash the dial, oh, I am a senior manager, or I am a manager, or I am basically a AVP, then it is basically you be ready to handle the drama or handle the emotions, because that's where the people management jobs comes in. Again, it's a very hard job. It's not an easy thing to really manage everybody's expectation in the light that budgets or the pay hikes and the bonuses are always limited, right? So not only you just have to manage the business, you have to manage people emotions, and that's why the managerial side of the thing basically have the people like lead analyst, consultant, senior consultant to basically guide and coach the junior folks, and managers can basically overall see the entire operations and usually give the inputs with the help of those senior folks on the compensation benefit side. So on that side, on the managerial side, most of the time what I have seen is that you will have an ample amount of work, but mostly it will be your team and team members who will be sort of contributing day in day out execution of the work, and you are there mostly to supervise, give the feedback, and making sure that at the end of the day business is running smoothly with the help of your more senior leaders. So this is basically the two choices that we can take. The choice which I took is somewhere in the middle. I have got the opportunity in the past to really manage a large team of close to 50 or 60 folks around that time. That is about 2 years or so. But what I made a conscious decision is that I don't want to leave the business side of the things or what is running on a day-to-day, as well as the managerial side of thing is giving me the experience or giving me the knowledge to basically have the how to manage the people emotions, how to basically look at the performance and all those. So basically both the worlds which I try to see. So if you are the one who also want to see both the side of the worlds, want to sometimes it is difficult, by the way, I'll tell you, but if you want to see both the side of the worlds, that how really you can manage people emotions or how really you can handle emotions in those crisis times, as well as hardly or very strongly contribute onto the side of the business by having a day-to-day influence on your junior folks, then I think you can go on this side of the thing, which is having balance on both the sides and give you the experience on both the sides. So let me know in the comments after this if you have still any question about how usually a career in most of the companies you are trying to wondering how they really look like, because I would say if not 100%, more than 95% of the companies is following this path or this hierarchy which I showed in the previous slide. And if you have a different experience altogether, I would really love to know. If you want to share in a comment or direct me, email it based on the email I showed or flashed at the start. Drop me an email and then I'll probably get to know more about your particular scenario in that case. So that's about it. I wanted to share my understanding or the inner working of the organizations as to how they really work, how they really give people two different paths based on their career aspiration. So let me know how did you find the video, and I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic.